Hey everybody, welcome back inside the mind of Matt, and in this episode I'm going to talk about bed leveling. It's the key thing to having a good print, and it's a problem from the get-go. So if you've had this problem, or you're having this problem, or you'd like to learn how I fixed my problem, keep watching this video. Stick around to the end for a new tip that I just discovered the other day. Okay, so I purposely sabotaged my printer to record this video, just so that you know. I've been printing great since I put it in this new enclosure. I was printing good before, but one of the problems that I was suffering is that after printing a while, my bed would not be level again, or something was messed up. Okay, so I'm going to just share this with you right now, that if you do this, it could eliminate the problem like it did for me. And it is simple as bolting it down, screwing it down, fastening it down. Whatever your printer's on right now, get it fastened and make sure that whatever it's fastened to is flat. Okay, this is the first time this thing has really been on a flat, sturdy surface, and it's been screwed down to it. Before I was printing, it was sitting on a piece of foam because I thought it would make the metal shelf not rattle as much, and the metal shelf was all dented. But now this thing is bolted down and it's fastened, and pretty much everything has stayed to where it is. So I'm just throwing that out as point number one. Bolt it down. Once it's bolted down, alright, you're going to have to probably start all over. Now that's kind of where I'm at. So now let's talk about a couple of things that I don't have to do, but I'm going to verify for you. Now, what you're going to need is a ruler. You're going to want to put your extruder up a little bit. Okay? Doesn't matter how high you put it. Okay? You just want to be able to get a measurement. Now, I'm just going to alright, so I'm too shy. I'm going to go up 1, 2. So now I'm at 140 millimeters on that side, and I'm at 140 millimeters on that side. So if you're not even on both sides, alright, at this point you got to get that even. And how you're going to do that is you're going to disable your stepper motors. Okay, you're going to get your ruler, and it's kind of tricky. You're going to have to hold the ruler, and you're going to have to turn the lead screw and get it at a measurement. Okay? Doesn't matter, because the limit switch is still at the same spot, so they're still going to hit the limit switch at the same spot, but this is going to be level. So same thing on the other side. Whatever measurement you got over here, you want to twist and get it on this side, or start this side and go to that side, but it doesn't matter because you're going to have to go back. Even if it takes a couple times, get your measurement so that they're the same. Once they're the same, okay, then this is level so that it goes over this level. Now we can work on this. Now, one of the things that I did discover about my printer, what it was doing, it was, one side would end up, going up more than the other. If this happens to you, it could be, what I found is this thing was just a little cantered one way or the other because of the way the rods were in. I gave it a little bit of a squeeze. I pressed both of the sides together at the same time, and it just kind of seated itself. If you see that my tension here actually has two nubs that stick into those two holes that are in this part, and those rods are locked right in there. So that was one of the things, by giving a little squeeze and making sure that those were seated and it was going across, making sure that this was level. It really changed the way my printer was printing and performing. But once again, bolting it down was the thing that changed it where it stayed. But alright, so on to the next is you're going to want to home everything. Now mine's already tweaked, okay? And it depends on where your Z-stop is, depending on if it's there or if you've been successful enough to get any kind of printing and you've printed this and moved it out here. This would be the suggestion. If you haven't got this printed and you're still dealing with it back there, the fine-tuning of this is a little bit more difficult, and that's why we print improvements, so that we can make the adjustments easier to do. So by printing this, you're going to allow yourself just little fine adjustments instead of this, I don't even want to go back that far because I don't want to remember. I do remember, but yeah, that's a pain. But anyways, if you're there, you're going to have to make a judgment where we are. Are we touching anywhere? If we're touching anywhere, okay, we need to raise that up so we're not touching anywhere. Your bed needs to be screwed completely down, as tight as you can get all four corners, okay? And you should have already been at that point. Okay, screw this all the way down. If I didn't mention that, I apologize, but we haven't got too far. Anyways, screw the bed all the way down. If your nozzle is touching anywhere, okay, I have to kill my steppers. You might have to kill your steppers after you home everything in order to tell. Okay? And I'm going to move this around. And I'm doing it manually, which you might have to do it at the beginning if you're not on Octoprint. And then it's not touching anywhere. Now, I don't know if my camera is still going to be able to zoom in on my nozzle. But I'm pretty set back up. I guess I didn't sabotage it too bad. Because this thing has been bolted down, it had kept, but what I did is I unscrewed one of those and made this unlevel so that I could make the adjustment. So once you're at that point where you have found, okay, you're not touching anywhere, okay, how close are you? Are you close enough where just unscrewing is going to make your bed touch? Then that's what we want to do. If you're too far where that's going to unscrew your bed too much, alright, then we want to lower your Z-stop down a little bit, okay? Once you get it to the point where just an adjustment of the knobs is going to be able to get you to the distance, the next step is to find the corner of the bed that's closest to the nozzle. With your bed still screwed all the way down, which corner is the closest to your nozzle? That's going to be the corner that the other three corners are going to get adjusted to. Okay? So, next you need to find the lowest corner and make your adjustment, and knowing which way to turn your knob, if you have knobs, or the butterfly. If you have that, then you're going to have to unscrew this and unscrew that and then check it until it's not touching but closer. Okay, this is the part where it's multiple passes, multiple adjustments will have to be made. If you're bolted down, then hopefully it'll be the last time you do. So once you've gotten that corner, the lowest corner adjusted so it's higher, go back to the original corner that you started with. Once you go back to that corner and you're still not touching, then go to one of the other corners and get it closer with the knob. Okay, still not touching, about the same as the other ones are. And if you're still not touching, and go back to the original corner. If you're still not touching, then go back to the next corner. At the next corner, you're going to make your adjustment again until it's just close enough like the others are. Okay? Now, if you're going to use the paper method, great. Use the paper method. Get it so that there's tension. Move it. Get it so that there's tension. Move it. Get it so there's tension. Move it. Get it so there's tension. And keep going around your corners until you get it so that you feel tension on that paper. You want tension. You don't want it to be free-flowing. You want to be able to push the paper under it, but you want to be able to, and manually, this is how you're doing it. You're going to put a sensor on, it changes the ball game, but then you're talking firmware and everything. But my nozzle was closer than a piece of paper. Here's a piece of paper. I cannot fit my nozzle under there. Okay? That's the starting point. Once you get to you feel like all four corners are good tension and about the same, you need to go to the center of your bed and get the same feel. Okay? You shouldn't get the same feel, I should say, because the center is kind of dipped in just a little bit. Okay? But that's okay, because if you've got it around the corners, I've had success to this point. Keep coming. Okay, keep following. Okay? So now you've got all four corners, just the same amount of tension with the piece of paper. You can get it in there, but you can feel it just dragging just a little bit. Okay? Now, if you're at that point and you don't have a fine tuner, like I do right there, then you're probably going to want to go around and adjust your corners just a titch more. Okay? Closer. If you've got this, you want to back it off just a little bit. Now with me, I've got this Phillips head, and what I use those for is to measure how much I need to turn it. Quarter turn, eighth turn, just a little bit, and I've got it. So my first layer is just like glass. So, that being said, making sure that this is level, the same distance, bolted down, adjusting one corner at a time, from the highest point being the point you level to. Let me cover that one more time if you didn't catch that. Okay? You're gonna get it homed, get your C switch adjusted so that it isn't touching anywhere on the bed. You're going to find the corner that's closest to the nozzle, and that'll be the point that you don't make any adjustments on. Next, you need to find the lowest point, the one that's furthest away, and start to adjust it from that point. And then if it's just happens to be here and over there, then obviously it might be like this, but you're gonna have to play with your individual machine using this method. And you might get the first layer like I do. If any of these tips you tried and it helped, please make a comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, also just make sure you hit that like button. It'll really help me out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And once you subscribe, there's a little bell next to subscribe. If you click on that and check the box and hit OK, it'll alert you when my next video is coming out. Also, I haven't mentioned it up to this point, I do have a Patreon. You click at the end. If you feel like you want to throw me a buck or two, I super appreciate it. It's not necessary, but anything I would be extremely grateful for. So anyways, I hope this video helped. Happy bed leveling and safe printing from inside the mind of Matt. Keep coming back, everybody. Have a great day. So, did you stick around for the special tip that I talked about? Well, here it is. Up until the other day, I've been using, I'm not advertising this brand, but it's just what she had and I stole her hairspray, but I've been using this with the aerosol. And one of my biggest concerns is it's been being sucked into my fans and creating a buildup of dust. So I tried this. It's a pump, not as much aerosol spraying being sucked into my fans, and the results are the same. Give it a shot.